I know that it'd be great if you could go out and buy yourself a big shiny airplane and go out to the field and start flying it around and doing all kinds of cool stuff like this. But that's not the real world. Get too far ahead of yourself with radio-controlled airplanes and you'll start considering this to be pretty mild damage. But if you choose to get hooked up with an instructor and get a more reasonable plane for learning, you can actually have fun taking your first steps on the way to learning how to do all the fancy stuff with an airplane. This happens to be a SIG Cadet Senior, and while veteran pilots still enjoy flying this plane, it's a great plane for beginners. But with the capability of modern radios, we can use some other planes for teaching as well. This Visionaire can be fully aerobatic, but we can use dual rates on the modern radios to dial it down to be a good trainer. But after you learn the basics, you can start working your way into aerobatics with the same airplane. Not so long ago, glow or gas-powered airplanes were all you had to choose from, but today the electrics are coming in a big way. And with modern motors and batteries, you can get an airplane that's fully aerobatic like this one, or you can get an electric version of that SIG Cadet. Not so long ago, you had to have a full radio system for each airplane that you owned. I fly all of my airplanes and helicopters with the 8-channel at the head of this line. The second one is a 6-channel that I carry around for training, and the third one is another 6-channel that I use on the simulator. But you're likely to only need the first one. My 8-channel has 3-position dual rates for the rudder, ailerons, and elevator, and I can assign all of them to this one switch that's easy for me to get at while we're flying. We can set one position for the airplane to be very docile, a second one for it to be more lively, or a third one to make it a real animal in the air. For a new pilot, we can use these dual rates to tone down a more aerobatic plane and then gradually increase the performance of the plane as the pilot's skills increase. This one 8-channel will hold the settings for 30 airplanes, and we can select between them, and when we go to that airplane and load its settings, everything is dialed in on the radio. We don't have to go back and do anything else to set the plane up. And I use the same radio for my helicopters as well as my airplanes. You use one transmitter for a whole bunch of airplanes, and that saves you a whole bunch of money. By far the biggest advancement for training new pilots is the buddy box system. This allows us to hook 2 radios together for training. The instructor pilot holds your radio, which is actually doing all of the commands to the airplane. You actually fly in a radio that's not even turned on. It's getting all its commands from your original radio. When I want the student to fly the plane, I push this button. As long as I hold that button in, the student is flying the airplane, giving it all the commands. When a student gets the airplane in trouble, I let go of that button, and I'm instantly in control of the airplane. I can save it, get it back up to where it's a safe altitude, push the button, and let him fly it again. This is a much safer and a much faster way of teaching people how to fly. Everyone's anxious to learn how to fly so they can get out there and fly aerobatic planes, warbirds, and scale planes. But you have to learn how to fly first, and if you approach that right, you can learn quickly, safely, and not spend too much money in the process.